Well, Pacelli and Boomer, they're grizzled and gray, talking about Star Wars from back in the day. Got a talk show called Geeky Geezers, it's true, spinning old tales about the stuff they went through. From Atari to Shrek, they know every line. Geeky Geezers, man, they're feeling just fine. Pacelli's got a lightsaber, swings it with pride. Boomer's got a game but plays it deep in the night. They're ranting about He-Man and old X-Men too. On Geeky Geezers, they're the nerdiest crew, talking Transformers toys that twist and they turn, singing blues for the geek life, their hearts still burn. Oh, Geeky Geezers, they're living the dream, talking comics and movies, they're busting the seams. From Battlestar reruns to D&D lore, they're preaching the gospel of geek evermore. Pacelli and Boomer, they'll never grow old. Geeky Geezers with hearts made of gold. They're sitting in the studio, mics turned up loud, reminiscing about Super Friends, feeling so proud. Pacelli loves Spider-Man, Boomer's for Hulk. They argue about Star Trek with passionate both. From Betamax tapes to their old D20s, Geeky Geezers where the nostalgia flows. They got fans in the chat, from the young to the old, tuning in to hear stories that never get cold. Talking Ghostbusters, Proton Packs, Toys in the Box, and Saturday mornings with cartoons that rocks. Pacelli and Boomer, they're keeping it real. Geeky Geezers with that old school feel. Oh, Geeky Geezers, they're living the dream, talking comics and movies, they're busting the scenes. From Battlestar reruns to D&D lore, they're preaching the gospel of geek evermore. Pacelli and Boomer, they'll never grow old. Geeky Geezers with hearts made of gold. They're singing the blues for the games that they play, for the VHS tapes and the arcades that pray. But the spirits are young, though their hair's turning white. Geeky Geezers keep the nerd fire alight, so tune in each week to the Geeky Geezer show, where Pacelli and Boomer let the good times flow. From X-Files to X-Men, they're dropping the news, singing praises of geek life with them old blues. Pacelli and Boomer, forever they'll be. Geeky Geezers living wild and free.
Hello everyone, welcome to Geeky Geezers. I'm your host, Agent Boomer, and as you can see, Netter of Netter's Network and Troy, Papa Pacelli, he is not here, they are not here tonight, they are on the road, coming back from a convention that you can hear all about this week, but in the meantime, I do have two special guests. I have Deleted Scenes here.
Good evening, everyone.
We call him Steven, too. That's okay. And Big Al of Big Al Presents.
Hello, thank you. It's an honor joining you tonight.
And here we are. How's y'all's weeks going?
Yeah. It's going fine. Just trying to stay cool. It's very hot out here.
It's been miserable in Florida. Trust me. Oh no.
Stay cool, watching movies.
I watched Conjuring Last Rites. That was my movie this weekend.
What'd you think?
I felt it could have been shorter, if I'm being honest. I thought it was better than Devil Made Me Do It, which I think is the worst Conjuring movie. It was all right. I kind of feel it was good enough. It was good enough. I'm being too harsh on it. What else did I watch? I also watched Shelter with Jason Statham.
Oh yeah, I like that.
I like that one. Yeah.
Yes. I half expected it to be like he was going to turn out he was the beekeeper. It almost felt like a Beekeeper sequel. I'm like, is this what happened after the Beekeeper? He's hiding out on this island somewhere?
Well, I mean, I love Jason Statham movies. He doesn't exactly have the widest range, but it works.
You know what? It's just nice having a somewhat normal thriller action movie. That doesn't go on forever. Nice scenery. He's trying to protect the young English girl. From the I guess MI6 are the bad guys in the movie. Actually, I didn't even think about it. James Bond's people, but yeah. I heard you two watched the movie last night, right?
Yes, we had a fun time watching Time Cop.
Oh, that's right, with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah,
oh, and by the way, I would like to wish Deleted Scenes a happy belated birthday.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I am 33 again.
There you go. That's a good year, man. So here we are. I'll say hi to the chat. Enigma Severus is here. What's this I hear about some them Geeky Geezers doing something on a river stream? Was that in the lyrics of tonight's song? I don't know. But, yeah, Connie Cleary's in here. Welcome. Last call. Which, whoa, wait, what? Oh, look who's in the chat, huh?
Hey.
I'm doing okay. Their faces are here until I probably switch slides and they'll disappear again, but we'll see what happens. All right. Actually, let me see if they're on the YouTube side of things. I should do that. But, yeah, here we are. Let's see who else is here. How's the road trip going, Troy? Just curious. The Skeptic Tank, welcome. Connie Cleary, welcome. I already said hi to her. And Jessica Hardo, hey guys, sorry I haven't been here in a while. Work's been crazy, and I got a wake-up call from a medical emergency. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Hope everything's all right, and hope whoever, if it's you or if it's somebody else, they're okay. But
that's true. I haven't seen him around. Hope everything's working out.
Yes. So let's see here, though. But Statham did an awesome job with Shelter, really good job, and Statham produced it really cool. I like him. I think he's one of our. I feel he's sort of an unsung actor. Yes, he sort of plays the same parts, but you know what? At least he's consistent.
Yeah, exactly.
So. It's like because my poor Liam Neeson, he's not. I feel like he's not going to be doing those action movies anymore. So I got to rely on Jason Statham now for my fix. Welcome, Netter of Netters Network. Cool to see you in the chat. And
I'm not sure she's with us. I think whenever I type up something, and it says all on the thing. And I think what I'm typing is coming up as Troy.
Oh, that's right. Yes, when you type inside the.
Troy and Netter are not here. I think it's me.
Pretend they're here. It's fine.
Sorry, guys. I didn't. My bad.
They're still lurking in the background. Their avatars here. Anyway, hello, my fellow old farts.
Talk about a ghost in the machine.
Consider myself an old fart. I'm just. Anyway. I do miss the 90s still. And here we are. Let's talk about the good old days, and let's talk about The Evil Dead. Are you two familiar with this movie?
Yes.
Indeed. Yeah, very much so.
How did you first catch this movie? I'm curious. You each can tell me.
Well, go ahead, Al, please.
I watched this movie for the first time about 2 years ago.
Okay.
It's just one of those movies it was always on the outer edge of my cultural existence, and I had just never got a chance to watch it. So a couple of years ago, I sat down. I was like, I'm going to watch. It was right before the remake came out, or that new one came out.
Oh, right. The one that said Evil Dead in the title, but it wasn't the same as this, right?
Right, yeah. And I was like, well, if I do that, I want to at least have an idea of what's going on, the lore of it all. And so I sat down and watched all the ones I could.
Cool. How about you, Steve? When did you first see this?
When did I first see it? Well, I was aware of it when it was released, because it played at a local theater in Charleston called the Fox Theater, which, if you knew that place at all, playing The Evil Dead there would be pretty much fit in with their programming, so to speak. It played there for quite often, but it didn't have a rating on it, was the thing at the time. It was an unrated film, because unlike Germany, you can show unrated films in theaters here in America, but we can talk about that later.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh, don't get me started. This was a video nasty in Great Britain when it came out of VHS.
Yes, and so I didn't see it for many years. It was just one of those movies, and back in the day, the teenagers would always tell the younger kids like me, they would go into detail about these movies because they'd seen them. But the Evil Dead, they wouldn't talk to us about.
Why?
Well, see it and understand. Because how do you explain this to a child? But so I didn't see it until many years later. And I think it was on, it was either Turner Classic or AMC
Really?
that showed it like really late at night. And
Uncut?
that's when I've uncut.
Holy.
And
Okay.
that's when I had the chance to sit down and finally see it, and was both freaked out, not at the same time, not scared, but also at the same time going, "Oh, this is unpleasant."
Yeah.
know?
Well, yeah. I mean,
But yeah,
Uh,
because I was expecting it to be more comedic. Because I saw kind of the later movie. I was
Yes.
aware of kind of like the later movies, and I was kind of aware of what Bruce Campbell did after that, which had more of a comedic slant.
right.
So when I saw this, I wasn't expecting something as hardcore as what it is, And yes, that's how I became familiar with it, and how I finally got a chance to see it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Evil Dead is one of my most favorite movies. It was the first horror movie I bought on VHS. Then I purchased Evil Dead 2, and I was in theaters opening weekend for Army of Darkness. Well, good for you, Nate. I knew of Army of Darkness when I was younger. I'd heard people talk about these movies, but I never saw this movie until, frankly, it got a DVD release. I remember I saw Evil Dead 2. And I think I saw Army of Darkness later on, but you have to understand, movies weren't as common to come by, and I didn't stop by the what do you call it? I wouldn't often go to like the Blockbuster or the rental stores. We did when I was younger, but then as I got older, especially after we moved down to Florida, I didn't really frequent rental places. I would try to catch things on cable. Every so often I'd buy a VHS, but I don't think when I was getting into DVD, I wanted to get all of the Evil Dead movies because I think the first one was the first one I got. It might have been Army of Darkness, the special edition Anchor Bay put out, and I think Elite put this out of the first one. And I had seen Evil Dead 2 because a friend had seen that. Because the thing about the early days of DVD, it was right on the cusp of Scream. So a lot of it was almost like very fortuitous because when DVD came out, they realized that there was probably a big market to re-release these movies that were mentioned in Scream and other things on DVD, and suddenly people were buying up horror movies on DVD, and they'd come with special features. So I got the DVD of this, and it's pretty grody though, but they wouldn't talk to the children because it was about evil and dead people, and it was Evil Dead. I mean, I don't know. I remember being a kid here, and the kids on the bus talk about Faces of Death, all right, and what they saw, and I'm like, you're like in the 4th grade, dude. Why did you watch that movie?
But you were talking about Army of Darkness. That was the first one I ever saw of this franchise. And I saw it because that one was that had a major backing behind it. It had marketing.
Universal Studios were back then, yeah.
Yeah, and you see Army of like medieval zombies, and I'm like, I'm there. So I saw that first chance I got.
I think I saw Army of Darkness. I don't know if I had rented it. I saw it somehow. And then a friend of mine, they re-released Evil Dead 2 on VHS, more affordable, like in a special edition. Then I saw it over his house in like the mid-90s. I think that's when I saw Evil Dead 2. And then then eventually when I adopted DVD player, I was like, let me get Evil Dead 1, because it came with a bunch of special features. It had a wonderful audio commentary track, one with Sam Raimi and Rob Tapert, the producer, and the other one was with Bruce Campbell. And on both the audio commentary tracks, they trash each other.
They do.
For different reasons.
I remember,
and it's hilarious to listen to. But because they're both trashing each other's work and work on the movie. But this is if I'm going to describe this movie, and you know, many a young aspiring filmmaker, you go watch this movie, you want to go out and make a movie because this is made on kind of less than a shoestring, and it's basically Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Night of the Living Dead, and The Exorcist rolled into one, right? If we're being honest here. There's a wonderful scene in the background when they're in the basement where you see the poster for The Hills Have Eyes from Wes Craven ripped in half. That became a running joke, how basically they're saying, you think that's real terror. No, Evil Dead is real terror. And then I think in one of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, or maybe it's Deadly Friend, they're watching Evil Dead and they're not paying attention to it. Like there's this little tete-a-tete between Sam Raimi and Wes Craven about, you know, their movies between the two of them. I always thought it was funny. But, yeah, so the plot is a bunch of college kids go up to a cabin in the woods. Rent a cabin in the woods for the weekend, and some weird things are going on, and then they find a tape recorder in the basement, along with an ancient Sumerian Book of the Dead, right? And they're messing around with it. Bruce Campbell plays the tape recording of the old college professor reading off the incantations, and well, then the Evil Dead, then the Evil Dead come. Basically, his friends become possessed by demonic forces, and they can't die, and then the trees come to life and attack his sister in a rather shocking scene for the time. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a gore fest. And I thought Ash vs. Evil Dead TV show was going to be awful, but it turned out to be my favorite TV show in recent years. And I would watch the series focusing on Kelly, Popley, and Brandon. I really loved Ash vs. the Evil Dead. It's a lot of fun. It almost has a Saturday afternoon serial if it was a gory horror movie. You know, that's what it's like. But I thought the book was the Necronomicon. It's both. It's the ancient Book of the Dead, and also known as the Necronomicon.
Yeah, different names for it.
Yeah. Were they calling it the Necronomicon in the first one? They might have been. Yeah, and of course. You know, I don't know. What do you think of those effects, huh?
I actually think they called it the Naturum del Monto.
Yes.
Yeah.
Book of the Dead. But I know that they call it the Necronomicon either in this movie or at least the sequel. They bring up its name, which of course is a Lovecraftian reference. But I think Sam Raimi just threw it in there to be cute. But anyway, I don't know. This was a big deal. I like I said, I didn't catch it on VHS back in the day because I was kind of skittish as a kid with the horror movies. But as I became a teenager, I was branching out more. But you'd always hear about movies back then, but they weren't always readily accessible. That's why when they started putting all this stuff out on DVD at under $20 a piece, I'm like, okay, I'll pick that up and give it a chance. And you know, it's kind of neat.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Evil Dead. I later on bought the Evil Dead DVD that came with an actual rubber Necronomicon, and the disc would go inside it.
I remember that.
And if you froze it, they said it would feel like real human skin if you put it in the freezer and let it freeze. It would feel like actual human skin. Anyway, this kind of thing. Running theory that thing was Ash's hands, which would have been Over the Moon about, the thing from the Addams Family. Well, that's in the sequel. This is kind of a bare-bones horror movie. This is basically... Ash isn't even the protagonist. I figure Tommy's going to be the protagonist as this movie's going on, because... But everyone keeps getting killed off and possessed, you know? So it's... I don't know, though, but, yeah, I don't know. I found this movie rather scary back in the day. I mean, it's creepy, isn't it? I mean, you ever see Donnie Darko when they stop in that movie theater? They're having Evil Dead play on the big screen in that one scene.
Never seen Donnie Darko.
Never seen it. I need to. In light of recent events, I think it might be a good time to finally sit down and watch it.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
There's arguing which is better, the director's cut or the original, but I don't think you can go wrong with either. But yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you know, for a few $100,000, they did a fine job and made good bank with it.
Yeah, I mean, this I think is the big breakout hit for Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
This kind of started his career, or at least his career in these movies, and he would move on. Ash is actually the final girl. Well, I guess so. I didn't think about it that way. He has a girl's name, but it's because his sister calls him Ashley, and but his name, he goes by Ash Williams later on. That's his name. He's good with a shotgun. In this movie, he's kind of stumbling around, though. Sam Raimi made a point that they would just think of excuses to have like a bookcase fall on him or other things like that. And yeah, I don't know though, but I don't know. This has some pretty good effects. When you listen to the audio commentary, they show you how they made all these effects. Like when you see this pus coming out of the arm, they said it was cream corn. Did you know that? That was what they used. Yeah, well, the thing about this movie is this movie took years to make.
Yes, it did.
They were shooting it in the late 70s, but they had to like do a lot of post-op shots in like his basement and other places, like for the close-up effects, like of this stop-motion stuff, like the zombie falling apart and rotting away in front of him. It was all pieced together. And it came out. It got a good review from Stephen King. He actually helped them out a lot by giving it his stamp of approval. And I guess it just grew over time. Now, even though this was made in the late 70s, Sam Raimi, he did want this to be seen as a kind of a timeless movie. He tried to make sure people weren't wearing clothing that looked too dated. So, like he gave, ash brown shoes, jeans, things like that. But what can we try to kill Bruce with today? Yeah, basically that was it.
Yeah.
Why weren't they in something together, Bruce Campbell and Scott Bakula? That might have been interesting.
Yeah.
But, I mean, look at that. You see the hands ripping out of the corpse. It's really gross. This is just gross. And apparently, though, he had to fly over to England to defend his movie in British court. Sam Raimi did. Did you know that?
I had not heard that.
And to get the money to finish the movie, Sam Raimi had to sell the rights of the movie to the distributor. That's why Evil Dead 2 is basically a remake and a sequel. Yes, because they couldn't use the previous scenes like they would have at the beginning, like how Hellraiser 2 has the scenes like previously on Hellraiser. Because they were originally going to do, he originally was going to try to show scenes from it, then he was going to try to cast new actors as Tommy and then he just said, screw it, we'll just do an abbreviated thing of Ash and his girlfriend going up to the cabin. It's funny on the commentary for Evil Dead 2 how he says, is Ash stupid enough to go back up to the cabin again? After he survived the first night, he says, yes, he is.
Now, when I was watching these, when I was doing my watch, I really didn't know a lot about the films. I mean, I knew the basic, I knew who was in it.
Yes.
But I didn't know about Evil Dead 2. I watched the first one, then I put in Evil Dead 2, and I was like, wait a minute, this is the same. Yeah, I'm sitting there, I'm watching the same film, but different. And it was just, I was very confused.
So here's how you need to look at it, and I was confused too. In Evil Dead 2, all the stuff with the girlfriend and the going up, and then he has to kill her and bury her. And then you see the scene in Evil Dead 2 where he's getting possessed and he's getting thrown around the woods. And then that's actually takes off from the end of Evil Dead 1. So if you were to cut out all that preamble stuff with the girlfriend at the very beginning and just go to the part where he's getting possessed and tells her other moves, it actually follows in sequence. Do you understand? That's what it is. But instead of bothering trying to do a recap of footage they couldn't use, they just said, we'll just redo the ending. We'll just redo the first night real quick and just have it be his girlfriend, and then we go to the new movie. In fact, it's funny, when I watched the Evil Dead musical at a local playhouse, when they did Evil Dead the musical, the first act is Evil Dead 1, the second act is Evil Dead 2, and when they go to the second act, and the guy playing Ash on stage is like, wow, I thought there were a lot more bodies just a little while ago. Like, the joke is, there are not as many victims because it's based on Evil Dead 2, so it's like, where'd all those people go? It was a little joke. I don't know. But also, Bruce Campbell was the victim in the movie Congo. Do you remember Congo, when he screams at the screen?
Congo!
I love Congo. I don't care. You want to watch a funny review, watch a Siskel and Ebert reviewing Congo. Because Siskel hated it, but Roger Ebert's defending it. And he's saying, really, the gorilla's drinking a martini and speaking in that little girl voice, which I find very offensive. And he's like, well, that's the point. Well, that's kind of the joke. That's what he was saying. And, it's really bad.
Of course, I remember Bruce Campbell a lot because of Bubba Hotep.
Love Bubba Hotep. Yeah. That's another classic. We never got Bubba Nosferatu. That was a planned one, but they never got off the ground. They were going to do Bubba Nosferatu also. But, yeah, I remember Bruce Campbell on Guerrero Notice. I remember him on, what was it? Jack of All Trades. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. In 1801, the revolution happened once. I love that theme song.
It wasn't particularly historically accurate, but
no.
It's like, okay. Anyway, but no, Evil Dead, man. It's a classic. There you go. There's Bruce drenched in blood. There, see.
Oh, in Briscoe County.
Briscoe County Jr. I caught that the night it aired. Jack of all trades. Yeah, it's a classic. But all right. Now we go into the main show, and let's see if y'all are showing up here. Because you guys disappear. Okay, no, you're there. Okay. All right, and unfortunately we have our first death of the evening. James Burrows, Cheers co-creator, prolific TV director, dies at age 85. I'll tell you who that is. Yeah. Okay. James Burrows, the prolific director who reigned as television's preeminent sitcom helmet for more than 30 years, died Friday. He was age 65. Burrows' family confirmed his death in a statement to People. We celebrate the extraordinary life and enduring legacy of James Jimmy Burrows, who passed away peacefully today surrounded by his loving family. For more than 5 decades, Burrows was one of the most influential and beloved directors in television history. As a legendary director, mentor, and creative force, he helped shape generations of comedy and brought immeasurable joy to audiences around the world. Burrows won 11 Emmy Awards, starting with back-to-back comedy directing trophies in 1980 and 81 for his work on ABC's Taxi. Mm-hmm. He was renowned for his skill at directing pilots and working with actors, particularly inexperienced thespians, such as the stars of NBC's Friends. He was also credited for opening up the world of sitcoms by adding a 4th camera to the classic 3-camera setup. Burrows was co-creator of NBC's indelible barroom comedy Cheers with brothers Glenn and Les Charles, and he directed every episode of NBC's Will and Grace from 1998 to 2020. In February 2016, NBC honored the director and producer as he notched his 1,000th sitcom episode, an Iron Man milestone he reached November 24, 2015, while working on the NBC sitcom Crowded, starring Carrie Peterson, Patrick Warburton, and Stacy Keach. For the February 21st special must-see TV all-star salute to James Burrows, a gaggle of stars from his shows over the years gathered at the January 24th taping of the Tribute in Hollywood to sing his praises. Who else but the Burrows Simply Knows Jimmy could bring Ted Danson, Shelley Long, Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, Lisa Kudrow, Matt LeBlanc, David Schwimmer, Tony Danza, Danny DeVito, Christopher Lloyd, Melissa McCarthy, Sean Hayes, Deborah Messing, Jim Parsons, Johnny Galecki, Katie Kuko, John Cryer, and Charlie Sheen under one roof for a common goal, saluting the man who was crucial in launching or furthering their careers, and in many cases, fattening their bank accounts with a steady stream of syndication payments. Oh, yeah, forgot about that. So, were you aware of this gentleman?
I was. Being a big TV watcher, yeah, James Burrows' name is all over the place in TV history.
Yeah. So rest in peace. But what a career, huh? I mean, that's like he reshaped television, and maybe it's just as well he's not around in our streaming nightmare that we're living in right now. Because Hollywood cut off all its revenue streams. Anyway, let's move on to the next article. This is nothing to be excited about. This is actually very depressing to me. The Ring actress Davy Chase. Yeah. Dead at 35. Well, yes, thank you, Samuel Proctor. I almost covered Spirited Away for Good Old Days tonight, but I wasn't sure if Stephen and Al had seen that movie. But She was the voice in the English version of Chihiro in that movie. Davy Chase, known for roles in The Ring and Lilo and Stitch, died Tuesday in Los Angeles. According to NBC News, she was 35. Her father, John Schwaller, told the outlet via text that his daughter died of complications of bacterial meningitis and a blood infection. He added, he said Chase was suffering from severe malnutrition. Her former manager, John Ryan Jr., disputed claims made in a recent crowdfunding campaign published before reports of Chase's death began circulating. Davy's estate has plenty of means to pay for the cremation, Ryan said in a statement to Deadline. John is next of kin and never signed any paperwork over to the so-called boyfriend. TMZ was first to report Chase's death through her alleged boyfriend, Roy Hernandez. The GoFundMe is not going toward any expenses for Davy, Ryan told the outlet. Myself, her father, uncle, and all of us close friends who knew her for decades are encouraging people not to donate to this page. That's really sleazy.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on with this that just bothers me. You will come across these videos that are about, celebrities who disappeared. There's like the kid actor Joe Pickler who disappeared. The woman from NCIS New Orleans who disappeared with her son. But Davy Chase, apparently, I'm seeing reports that she was missing, quote unquote, for 10 years.
What?
Why had this not been mentioned? How did this woman, who had these major credits, who was known in Hollywood, how did she fall through the cracks like this?
I don't know.
No sense to me.
This is disturbing,
the deeper we go into this, the more I hear about it, there is something very disturbing going on with this. That's just beyond, because when I first heard this, it was very simply she fell ill and died. That was the initial report. Now I'm hearing all this about the drug abuse, the homelessness, this supposed boyfriend that she may or may not have run off with, the being missing for 10 years, and nothing about this is adding up, and it's very creepy, and I don't think we know the whole story yet.
Was she the little girl that came out of TV? Yes, she was, in the American remake of The Ring. I know, Jesse, same age. I'm very disturbed by this. I knew her as a kid because I remembered when Spirited Away came out. And that was, of course, Hayao Miyazaki's masterpiece. And at that point, Disney Pixar, John Lasseter, was in charge of doing the English dubs for these movies. So they had Davy Chase do it. She had just come off of Lilo and Stitch. And they had her do the voice of Chihiro. And I typically prefer Japanese, the original Japanese to when I watch my Japanese animated shows or movies. But I really liked her performance. In fact, I think the whole cast was great in this. They even found a way to sneak John Ratzenner. He had a role in the English version of Spirited Away. He has to be in every Pixar involved thing, so they made him voice one of the guys.
Yeah, he's a good luck charm.
Yes, basically, yeah. And she gave a great performance. It's one of the best English dubs I've ever heard, as this little girl that's trying to rescue her parents who got turned into pigs by working in a bathhouse for the spirits run by the evil witch Yubaba. It's a wonderful movie, and I'm very disturbed because I feel this actress brought a lot of joy to my heart when I was, a young man in my 20s, and I remembered, just seeing her on TV. And I don't know how this happened, and I'm really being afraid that this is another Hollywood horror story of a child actor whose life got ruined, and I'm very disturbed by this. And I don't know, I don't know what the family knew. Were they searching for her? I think they were.
That's my understanding, yeah.
And I'm just tired of this. I'm not sure why she didn't have more of a career. I had always assumed, just since I never heard of her, that she had just gone on to do other things. Maybe she did the acting thing as a kid and went on to, be a nurse or a teacher or something. I did not expect this horrible state of affairs, and I'm very disturbed by this. Maybe I'll be following this as time goes by, but Yeah, her star power continued to rise when she was cast as the voice of Lilo at only 8 years old, and worked alongside Tia Carrere and Chris Sanders to bring the Oscar-winning animated Disney film to life. It's interesting because I think a couple years later she was cast as Chihiro in Spirited Away, and the character in that movie's 10, which would have been about her age anyway. But in addition to voicing Lilo in the film, Chase recorded more than 60 minutes of Lilo and Stitch the series and voiced the character in various video game multimedia projects. That same year, Chase earned legions of fans in another demographic after a chilling role as Samara in DreamWorks' classic horror The Ring. In 2003, the young actress earned the Best Villain Award in the 2003 MTV Awards, beating Mike Myers, Colin Farrell, William Dafoe, and Daniel Day-Lewis to win the trophy. What happened here? This is what I don't understand.
It's like she was at the precipice, getting breaking out, and then
something happened, and I don't know
you're right.
what.
So, maybe she had the wrong guy. Maybe she had some personal demons that she had. I don't know. Well, but it is an absolute tragedy that someone that young, that talented, ends this way.
I'm trying to remember who the director was supposed to be. She was going in for, and this is according to her agent, is that she was supposed to go into this meeting with a director. I forgot who, but it was a major director. I keep wanting to say it was James Cameron, but I might be wrong. She was going to go into a meeting with a director, but she didn't make that appointment. And ever since then, he has heard hide nor hair of her until her death. And I'm like, we're missing a step here.
This is like one of those unsolved
happened.
This is an unsolved mystery. This could be an episode of Unsolved Mysteries on the Netflix revival series of that. They could do one now on her. Because something's weird here. What is going on here?
We need to keep our eye on this, guys, because something
there's going to be
very
more
serious happened here that should not have. And people are responsible for it. And we got to keep an eye on this.
Do you think she was kidnapped? And because she was an adult and they just figure, maybe someone sent a note, hey, Mom, I'm running away from home. I'm an adult. I don't want to... I don't know what happened here. She could have been kidnapped.
That is possible. I mean, it's just like she walked out a door and just went down some hole in the world. None of it makes sense. And this is something that we have to keep an eye on. I'm sorry to be like Mr. Serious over here.
No, it's serious.
Something smells about this.
Yeah, no,
and it bothers me, and it is very scary.
Yeah, I'd say the last time her mother saw her was in jail, and lost contact entirely after she was released, and no one saw hide nor hair of her.
Yeah,
yeah.
And they were doing a documentary about the search for her, called Finding Lilo.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which was still in progress and at the time of her death.
Something's wrong here.
Yeah.
They need to hire somebody. They need to hire an investigator. Somebody has to investigate this. Well, we'll keep an eye on this. If there are any updates in the coming weeks, I'm going to bring it up. I'm very disturbed by this. I don't know her as an adult, but as a child actor, she was a joy, and I'm very disturbed by this.
We brought up Donnie Darko earlier, and she's the little sister in Donnie Darko.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
She should have had a career going into adulthood. I don't know what happened here.
Yeah.
I mean, just as a sheer. I mean, look at her. She's beautiful.
Oh yeah.
I'd
never seen a picture of her as an adult before. Actually,
could have been Supergirl.
Yeah.
I mean, the sky could have been the limit, but something happened. She met like I said, the wrong person or some personal demons, and then it just.
I don't know.
And the fact that. I guess the guy who's the quote unquote the boyfriend has set up this GoFundMe account. This, there's so much about this that's just
Yeah,
wrong.
that's
This smells, guys.
You
I'm
need to be
sorry, it just does.
investigated.
It needs to be looked into by somebody who's not going to cover it up like they like to do out there.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Davy Chase. I
Indeed.
hope you have peace in death that you didn't have in life, and I will keep an eye on this. I hope people get to the bottom of what happened to you, because this is very disturbing. Happy Father's Day, folks. Sorry if you're not offending me. You can say Happy Father's Day. We've all had fathers. I mean, all right. Even if, so more on the Xbox news. Okay. Not good, but I like the headline of this one. Xbox developers are being punished today for following orders. And I hear a German guy mad said, "I was only following orders." I don't know. New report suggests Xbox layoffs will result in a bloodbath of job losses and studio closures, leaving developers punished simply for following Microsoft's orders. Word of Xbox staff redundancies and development studio shutdowns is now rife following an ominous warning from newly installed Xbox CEO Asha Sharma that the console maker's slim profit margin was no longer sustainable. While it has been reported that Xbox studios such as South of Midnight maker Compulsion Games, Kiln Keeper developer Double Fine, and Hellblade Helmer Ninja Theory are just some of the teams now faced with shutdown, the exact details remain unclear and unfinalized. Microsoft is believed to be timing the layoffs with the end of its financial year on June 30th, with talks ongoing among studio bosses of which companies will be sold off, spun off, and kept open independently, even as this still results in numerous job losses. IGN has asked Microsoft for comment, but has yet to receive a response. So this is from IGN. Now, in a new YouTube report from Bloomberg's Jason Schreier, the veteran reporter claimed that the word bloodbath has been thrown around among people I talked to who know about what's going to happen. It's going to be bad. Schreier's report also delves into the background of why these layoffs are happening now and suggests that Xbox teams have struggled to adapt to Microsoft's attitudes to gaming, and demands of its development teams have shifted over the years. Long term, Xbox never really recovered from the Xbox One era, Schreier argued. The Xbox Series XS has failed to gain ground, and in the console war against PlayStation, while the growth of Xbox Game Pass has plateaued. The past decade has seen Microsoft go on a spending spree to gain Game Pass content, buying the very studios that the company now seeks to shut down or divest. I'm going to translate to you. Microsoft had this thing called Game Pass. Think of it as like the Netflix of video games, right? You pay a subscription, and you can download and play all these games. Once your subscription lapses, so you can't play the games anymore. Do you understand? So Microsoft, to fill this thing up, they bought major studios, including Activision Blizzard, so they'd have all these games on Game Pass, because they wanted to move gaming toward a subscription model. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
And now that subscription model doesn't seem to be panning out or making the money, all these studios they bought, I think they're now going to get rid of them or fire a bunch of people. So yeah, this is not good for them. They've canceled a bunch of projects like Everwild, Perfect Dark, and Project Blackbird. They're not doing well. I mean, the games industry in general is having trouble, but Xbox is really not doing well. If this was any other company in the past, Xbox would just be done. They would be shutting down. But because Microsoft controls them, the console still lingers on. My brother's playing Xbox Series X right now, just another Madden game. Well, I had Game Pass for a little bit. It's nice, but it wasn't really going to keep paying for the rest of my life. Well, they raised the prices of it, too. That's how they get you. Look at this low price. For under $20, you get Game Pass, and then they skyrocketed the price, and then everybody dropped it.
Sorry,
Yes.
What in your opinion would, because I'm not a gamer, I'm not
Yes.
really versed in like the gaming world.
Sure. What do you want to know?
What would be in your opinion the solution? How can they turn things around? Is it any one
Okay.
thing, or is it such to the point to where it is so broken you almost need like
Okay.
like a system-wide reboot, so to speak?
Here's the problem right now. Industry-wise, there's a problem going on with memory shortages because of the AI race and especially the building of data centers. And modern game consoles rely on you having internal hard drive space, internal memory to download your games, or even if you buy a physical game, you still have to install it off the disc. It cannot read the game from the disc. This happened when they moved over to Blu-rays from DVDs. These systems, the laser isn't fast enough to pick up the Blu-ray, so you put the Blu-ray in your console, and it would just download the game onto the console. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So, because of they were using this as an excuse, but in the past, game consoles would go down in price. All right. But now game consoles go up in price because of these memory shortages and other component shortages partly due to this AI race, and also other things going on in the world too, like tariffs and other things, or trade disputes, or other things. But the trouble is, what Microsoft should do, if this was normal, like if this was how it was 20 years ago, Microsoft would simply lower the price of their console to compete. Sony's charging, what, $600 plus for their console. You can get an Xbox for $400. But as Donald Trump once said on an episode of The Apprentice when he fires somebody, he said, too many mistakes, and they've made too many mistakes. If this was owned by anyone else besides Microsoft, this company would be gone. They would not be able to be sustained. Sega didn't make as many mistakes as Xbox does. If you just make too many mistakes. Let me give you another example of what they did wrong this generation. They have... It took me a while to figure this out. It's Xbox Series S, Xbox Series X. One is a console which has a disc drive in it. You can play Blu-ray movies on it. It's like a normal console. And the Xbox Series S is all digital. But guess what? I thought what the Xbox Series S was an all-digital version of the Xbox Series X. It just doesn't have the hard drive, right? No. It is completely different architecture. So if a third party wants to make a game on the Xbox, like one of the publisher wants to make a game on the Xbox, they have to design it for the Series S, which is the cheaper all-digital model, and make another version of the game for the Series X. So you're developing for two consoles. I didn't realize that until about a year ago. They've just made too many mistakes. They overspent. They thought if they bought up all the publishers, and then they started bringing out their exclusive games on other consoles, which says, why am I buying this game on the Xbox when I can buy it on the PlayStation 5? They're just in bad shape. These things, the game companies effed up. There's no fixing unless you're Capcom or Sega. Sega has to get things under control, too. We'll see. But they... they released, the only reason why things are going as bad as they are because the Sony Morse started making bad sequels to games and stopped making good games, especially some that need sequel to story. Well, there's that too. Well, also the fact that they hired a lot of people into their companies that weren't qualified to make games and were more intent about pushing messages in games, in these very expensive games. It's a disaster. I toyed with the idea of getting an Xbox Series X too, but the memory for it, also expansion memory for it, if you want to run it from your expanded memory, I can't go out and buy an external hard drive for this thing because I can buy that to store the game on. But to play it, I had to buy Xbox's proprietary memory cards, which I'm sure they work better, but their max size, I think, at the time was 2 terabyte. That would only give me 3 terabytes total with their console. I need more than that. I just didn't bother. Sorry. Anyway, it's a mess. I don't know if I answered your question. I don't think there's anything they can do. What somebody needs to do is figure out how to make a cheap alternative. There's rumored right now that Sega might be working with another company to make a cheap handheld that has games on it that don't require a lot of memory. So we'll see if that happens. It's just a rumor, though, so I haven't really speculated on this channel before. It's funny, though, I was complaining last year about we were complaining about the Switch 2 being too expensive, and now, compared to everybody else, they're the bargain, even though they are still very expensive at $500. I mean, it's a mess, okay?
I'm kind of glad I never got into the gaming thing. It just seems like it would be a nightmare at this point.
It's become a nightmare recently. It's a lot of factors converging. Let me put it to you this way. I got an Xbox One S. That's the last-gen model. I got that for $199.99, and it came with Minecraft. Talk about that, and now they're charging almost like $900 a console. This is what's happened, like, in under 10 years.
For that you should get like a 50-inch screen with it.
Yeah. I mean, and Bill brought this up in the chat, and this is
Yeah.
something that even I, a non-gamer, have noticed. You know, he says the average game costs new about $93. I'm hearing rumors that GTA is going to be $100.
I heard that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Nintendo were the ones that pushed the $80 boundary. EA pushed the $70 boundary. It was actually Electronic Arts that did that, and everything's becoming too expensive. A lot of the games I buy these days are indie titles. They're like these small games that people make. In fact, I'm going to be discussing those in a minute. You know, because they're cheap. They come out on consoles. They come out on because I own a PlayStation 4. I own an Xbox One X and a PlayStation 4 Pro and a Nintendo Switch, and I'll be buying games for those as long as they make them. Now their days are numbered. There's going to come a time where they just don't release games on them. But I'm actually kind of shocked that they still make games for those consoles. That's because people can't afford the new consoles. It didn't help the fact that both the Xbox Series consoles and PlayStation 5 they both launched during 2020, the fall of 2020, which was a bad year to launch a new console because of the pandemic. So they haven't really recovered from any of this. I don't know. It's just been a disaster. But, oh well, we'll see how things go.
Yeah.
I just want a Wii.
Don't bring the Wii up. That's like my least favorite Nintendo console, please. With the bowling. Yeah, everyone liked the bowling. I liked House of the Dead Overkill for the Wii. It actually was in the Guinness Book of World Records for having the most amount of cuss words in a video game.
I always liked the golf.
Yes.
I used when I was in the nursing home, they had a Wii there, and that was part of the.
And it had
therapy.
the golf and
Yeah,
the tennis and the bowling.
Get your arms moving.
Yeah,
Well, the problem with
a friend of mine had to do that for therapy. They said it was a good idea because he was a gamer, and he said it was a good idea for him to kind of do the whole, to keep himself, physically moving. The bowling and the golf, and so I mean, it's helpful. I get it. So.
The PS5 disc and Xbox S with disc drive. Is that the Xbox One S? Because I had one of those too. I actually like the look of that console. It's just a big white rectangle. That's what I want under my TV. I want a rectangle that I stick things in, like I stick discs in. I don't know why this is so hard for companies to understand. Stop making your consoles look aesthetically hideous. Okay, anyway, this I'm excited about. Have you guys heard of the game Cuphead?
Nope.
How about you? There was a Netflix series based on it. Okay.
Didn't see it.
Cuphead is a side-scrolling run-and-gun game that's very well animated. In fact, it would have original art assets for all the levels, and it's inspired by cartoons from the 1930s. Like Fleischer cartoons or Disney or Warner Brothers. It's like an homage to all those. And you're playing a Cuphead. You have a cup for a head. Do you understand? It's
Right.
Cuphead goes to the Devil's Casino and is about to win, but he loses the final game, and then suddenly, now the devil has your soul. But you have to go defeat other enemies. You make a deal with the devil. If you can go, all these other people that owe me their souls, if you can go beat them, you can go kill them and get their souls to me, I'll let you have your soul back. It's very 1930s, like the wayward youth going to the casino and the devils. It's hard to explain. It reminds you of watching a 1930s cartoon. Okay, that's what it is. But the game was pretty big when it came out. Well, now they're making a couple spin-off Cuphead games. They're doing a full-on sequel. So Studio MDHR has announced 2 new Cuphead projects, a brand new hand-animated Cuphead game early in development. That'll probably be the proper sequel to Cuphead. And Mighty Cuphead Adventure, an 8-bit action platformer. Craftsmanship is at the heart of everything we do here at MDHR, said co-founder Chad Moldenhauer at a press release. When it came time to peel back this curtain and share a little bit of what we've been up to, we couldn't imagine a more fun way to do that with today's special bulletin. Crafted with the wonderful teams at Toronto's Stop Motion Department and Continue Agency, we hope the announcement will transport players to an era we'll be taking them in their next project, Mighty Cuphead Adventure. Here's the first details. First off, MDHR is happy to officially confirm the development has begun on a brand new hand-animated Cuphead game. But a small team within the studio has been working on it in secret on another project, an 8-bit action platformer named Mighty Cuphead Adventure. In true Studio MDHR fashion, this game goes beyond just taking inspiration from the classics of the 1980s. It is actually built with the technology of the era. That's right, Mighty Cuphead Adventure is programmed in classic assembly language and designed with the exacting specifications of the Sega Master System home gaming console in mind. While the game will absolutely be compatible with modern consoles and PC, players who want a true blast from the past will be able to experience it on a physical cartridge on the Sega Master System home gaming console. The Sega Master System was Sega's big competitor for the original Nintendo Entertainment System. It didn't do so hot in the United States, but it actually fared pretty well in Europe, actually, against the original NES. And they're actually, this company is going to make an actual Sega Master System cartridge with the Mighty Cuphead Adventure on it. So that's kind of neat, don't you think? For anyone who has a Sega Master System out there, you're going to get a new game for it. Okay, go ahead.
I do love the charm of an 8-bit game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sega Master System games looked a little different than the NES games. They had a stronger color palette than NES games did. Not as good a sound chip, though. But I am kind of curious about this game. I guess it'll come out on modern consoles as well. You can probably buy it for a few bucks and play it in 4K if you want, But I don't know. It looks fun. It looks like a running gun, and it looks like an 8-bit version of the Cuphead games. Which you have to understand, the Cuphead game, for being a side-scrolling game, it had animation unlike anything else I'd seen in gaming for a while. Like, they hand animated everything, like they would have back in the 1930s. Do you understand? In fact, it even has like a film-like quality to it, like it's being projected on a screen when you're playing it. And like, there's one level where you're fighting an angry hot dog. Because why not? I don't know. Everything has a face, basically. Oh, and Outlaw Bill, if you're interested, the original Cuphead is available on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One on physical disc, if you want to buy it physically.
That's if you have a cup for a head, why not have a hot dog floating around too?
I guess so, yes. They did a Netflix animated series based on the property, so I'm kind of curious. I haven't gotten around to watching it, though, but I think the devil is the main villain in that, too, as well. It's just... Because, anyway, moving on to, this is another one coming out that I'm very excited about. They released a latest trailer for the Transylvania Adventure of Simon Quest. So, the first NES game I ever owned was a game called Castlevania II: Simon's Quest. And this game is a lark and is making fun of that game. Someone's gone to the trouble of making a parody of Castlevania II: Simon's Quest. So, Retrowave recently announced that they'll be publishing the Transylvania Adventure of Simon Quest on the Nintendo Switch sometime in 2026. It's coming to all other consoles as well, and PC. So if you own an Xbox or a PlayStation, you can get it on there as well. This is an 8-bit action platformer in the style of the NES Castlevania titles. Transylvania Adventure of Simon Quest is a parody, homage to side-scrolling platformer that immersed players in an ominous 8-bit world. The titular hero, named Simon Quest, has just arrived in Transylvania, only to discover his vampire-hunting rival, Stan Helsing, has already slain the evil Count Dracula. In order to reclaim the glory that should have been his, he journeys across Wallachia to gather what he needs to resurrect the Dark Count piece by piece and kick his ass himself. That's the plot of the game. You're angry because some other vampire hunter killed Dracula, so you want to resurrect him yourself so you can be the one to beat him. So it's kind of neat, all right? I'm looking forward. And, of course, the Dracula in this game, who does that remind you of? It reminds me of the Coppola Dracula movie.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking with the hair.
You got to pick the worst Dracula. You got to base him off the worst Dracula, which, I'm sorry, is the old man Dracula from the Coppola movie. He doesn't stay like that even for long in the Coppola movie either. He becomes more like a normal Dracula later. But it's just, it's like... I don't know. An titular character, of course, he has to wear a bandana on his head because that's cringe also. It's just, it looks like a lark. I'm looking forward to this. I don't know if I'm gonna get this on PlayStation or Switch, but it looks like a lot of fun, and it really is an homage to Simon's Quest because like I said, it was the first NES game I ever owned. So the fact that someone's going to the trouble now of making a parody, it's kind of neat. So yeah, looking forward to it. Okay, Now we go into streaming. Have you guys been watching The Burrows?
I have not seen The Burrows.
Sadly, I was not familiar with it until I learned it was canceled.
Yeah, so Netflix cancels Duffer Brothers series The Burrows after one season. Netflix has swiftly canceled Duffer Brothers series. The Hollywood Reporter has confirmed. Show premiered less than a month ago. The Burrows was highly anticipated as it represented Matt and Ross Duffer's first series after Stranger Things, which is iconic in Netflix history. Stranger Things was sci-fi with kids. The Burrows was sci-fi with seasoned adults. Part of the problem here, a source tells THR, is that sci-fi is expensive. Another piece, surely, is that Duffer Brothers are taking their talents to Paramount. In a seemingly perfect retirement community, the plot of the series was this: in a seemingly perfect retirement community, a grieving newcomer's monstrous encounter inspires them to join a misfit crew of unlikely heroes who uncover a dark secret that proves their golden years are more dangerous and they are more formidable than anyone expects. Well, I hope it kind of ends after the first season, because they didn't get another one. So, did it not get the views? Maybe.
I never really
It
knew
sounds
about
that
it because
way.
I don't have Netflix. So
It's got Alfred Molina on it. Gina Davis, Alfred
Ooh.
Woodward, Dennis O'Hare, Clark Peters, and Bill Pullman were all on this. They said it had Cocoon 1985 vibes. That might be your problem. I kid. I love Cocoon. It's a wonderful movie. Do you like Cocoon, guys?
Oh, yeah.
I like Cocoon. Just the way you said it made me wonder if you were like being a little.
I don't like Cocoon. Anyway, moving on. But it's okay. We don't have to like everything.
No.
I might like it now, watching compared to what we get now. No one is really watching this show, and the Duffer Brothers have left Netflix. Yeah, Netflix are probably not pleased with them leaving for Paramount. This was probably a contractual obligation, and if it's not doing the numbers, why are they even going to keep it? But I don't know. It might have been a good show. I don't know.
Decent enough cast, yeah.
Does it take place in the 80s? I don't see Alfred Molina as old, though. It's bothering me. Or Gina Davis, for that matter. But okay. All right, well, that's it for that. Okay, well, that's it for the Burrows.
Age is but a number, my friend.
That's true. Age is but a number.
Some of us just have a higher one than others.
Yes. The Jimmy Olsen spinoff is described as both Jimmy Olsen and Gorilla Grodd show. What do you think of this? A Jimmy Olsen spinoff series.
Why?
With Gorilla Grodd.
like as in a TV series or film?
Let's read the article and find out. The new DCU is in full swing with Supergirl on its way. Man of Tomorrow is also in production, but there is also a Jimmy Olsen spin-off series coming from the new universe. It was said that the inaugural season of the spin-off will concentrate on Gorilla Grodd. According to IGN, James Gunn clarified on Threads that it will be equally about the Daily Planet photographer and the primate supervillain. He explained in a post. It's both a Jimmy Olsen and a Gorilla Grodd show. It's one of my favorite projects. We start filming soon. Gunn also explained in an Instagram comment that this was always his intention and denied claims that the project started out as Jimmy Olsen's show but evolved into a Gorilla Grodd show. He clarified, it didn't become anything. It's what it's always been, including pitching it as part of the package before I even started at DC. Gizondo made his DC review. Okay. But anyway, Jimmy Olsen will also likely return for Man of Tomorrow. What do you think?
I think somebody in a room is smoking way too much of something.
Maybe it's about Jimmy Olsen and Gorilla Grodd going on a road trip and seeing America. And maybe they run into a small town where murders happened and they have to find out who committed the crime because it's another season of True Detective that they have to convert to a different series. I'm sorry, wait a minute.
Wait, well... that might be the better idea, actually.
What is this? Gorilla Grodd is a supervillain.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He should be in a Flash movie. Like they should be making a Flash movie without Ezra Miller, make a Flash movie, and have Gorilla Grodd be the villain.
What they need to do is go away for a while, because their initial mistake, and yes, the Snyder Bros are going to stick me with spears, was that they were so busy trying to catch up to where Marvel was at that point in time that, you know, they forgot that they needed to set up all of the characters. This is what you need to do. You need to do it the way Marvel was doing it. If you're going to do, you know, you gotta do, like, you have to have your big three at DC. You have to have Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman. You need to establish them in separate films where nobody else shows up. This isn't going to be like a Superman where Lois and Mr. Terrific and Guy Gardner go off on an adventure while Superman cries in the corner with his dog. You need to do a movie where you establish the character for a new generation of kids who are out there who want this stuff. You gotta set up Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, these major characters, and then you start bringing in all of these other characters into crossovers. But they want to do everything now, and they don't plan ahead. And we have a DC universe under gun where you don't have a Batman yet, but you want to do a Jimmy Olsen, Gorilla Grodd crossover so you can do Guardians again.
But see, they've got the Pattinson Batman movie that's happening.
Yeah.
So it's just confusing people. Yeah. But you're right. I mean, the main thing is you've got to look at Marvel had the right method of doing this. Long-term plan. You build your pieces, and you take your time. And you're right. They want to throw in everything they can and make a stew before worrying about the single pieces, and that's just not going to work. Especially when and Jimmy Olsen and Gorilla Grodd together. I mean, this is a world where we had Bigfoot and Wild Boy, so anything is possible. But this, come on.
So, it's no secret that Gorilla Grodd is my favorite supervillain of the DC universe. Okay,
he is cool. I will
because
say.
he's a hyper intelligent gorilla with psychic powers. I don't know what else you want in a supervillain. That's just,
Yeah.
But who's going to stop him? Jimmy Olsen?
Now, if they want to do something kind of fun, I say Jimmy Olsen and Miss Tessmacher have an adventure.
Well, she's going to be on this show.
She has to, well, I mean, because she's in love with Jimmy. I think that'd be kind of cute.
I don't understand this. They have no game plan, and James Gunn was the wrong man to be put in charge of this. And after the acquisition goes through, he's just going to get fired. There's no way he stays at the head of DC. I don't know. Ellison said he's going to leave projects alone, but who knows? He could just be saying that before the actual thing goes through. I'll be honest with you. This could almost work if, like, Superman is on it as a background character, and we're just seeing a Superman story from Jimmy Olsen's point of view. I might be okay with this, but I don't think that's what we're going to see.
Yeah, they're going to try to make it like a buddy movie or something.
Like, why not just have it be Superman with Jimmy Olsen on a show? Just do that. I don't. We have the Supergirl movie coming out in a week. When does that come out?
Next weekend.
Okay. I'm curious what the box office. What's the big movie this weekend? Was it Toy Story?
Toy Story by a huge margin.
Okay, interesting.
Toy Story's Toy Story is actually doing pretty well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
All right, that's interesting.
I want to say 1/6. Let me double check. Let me go
I
to.
heard 120. I heard 129
Okay.
worldwide already. Yeah.
You know what? I picked on Iger's strategy for doing sequel, but it seems to be working because people are going to see it. So I don't know. All right. Moving on to our. Anyway, though, no excitement for this whatsoever. I'm just.
No.
This is what I wish Troy was here for because I don't know what he's going to think of this.
Toy Story 5 weekend 160.
Okay, great.
There you go.
Okay. Problem with the DCU is that you make Batman or Superman movie first, and then the studio will make 3 more before, and they'll make Green Lantern Flash. Yeah, that would have made sense.
Yeah.
When we were Mr. Mastic's channel, we had our whole thing about how we would have rebooted the DCU, and this is what we start with. We start with a Superman movie. The villain of the Superman movie would be Lex Luthor, with Kryptonite playing a factor in the movie, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Then the next movie would be a Batman and Robin movie. We'd have Robin in there, and the villain would be, guess who the villain's going to be? It's going to be the Joker, yes, because, yes, you're going to be the Joker. I was going to do a Wonder Woman movie, but we were going to set that during World War II. And the idea in my universe was it would have been... people didn't know if she and the Justice Society existed or if it was just fake, fake urban legends or something, right? But there was going to be a covert Justice Society. We're going to do the old Justice Society comics in a World War II thing, and that would have come into a head with a time travel plot line in season 2, okay, with Batman and Superman going back in time, and just because you would have had the old-fashioned flashing with the Justice Society. I had this all planned out. The first arc was going to end with the world's finest, with Lex Luthor and the Joker teaming up to stop Batman and Superman. But anyway, whatever. Who cares? Doesn't matter. These were my ideas. What do I know?
After Dark, hello.
Oh, yes, welcome.
Been a while. Long time no see. Good to see you.
Hello.
Cool.
Why Disclosure Day might not break even at the box office. This kind of surprised me. I thought it's a Spielberg movie. Don't those always do? Let's see. Disclosure Day has had a strong opener for an original film. Several box office predictions suggest the sci-fi Steven Spielberg flick could struggle to make a profit on ticket sales alone. Featuring a star-studded cast with Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor, and Colin Firth and Coleman Domingo, the Universal Pictures movie has been pitched as Spielberg's modern response to his prior UFO-centric work, like E.T. and Close Encounters. The film leans heavily into recent declassification of U.S. government documents concerning aliens and unidentified objects. Good news is that Disclosure Day doesn't have a lofty budget, so it will have an easier time breaking even, but its arrival comes amid the theatrical schedule crowded with multiple blockbusters that could make the films less leggy than expected. How's it doing this weekend? You were looking at the box office.
Whoops, I just said. Well, right now it's sitting worldwide at 160. So basically, Toy Story 2's 5's already beat it.
Right.
This weekend it did 17 million.
Okay, so estimated Disclosure Day, breaking point for Disclosure Day is estimated to be around 287 million to 300 million, given a reported production budget of 115 million by Puck. You know what's ridiculous? Now 115 million is considered a modest budget for a movie. Is that right? That strikes me as odd.
Once you pay all your stars and the bigger it is, the more money it costs.
Universal spent an additional 80 million on marketing. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah. So we need to make 300 million at the box office to break even at theaters. You two saw it, right? Did you like it?
I saw it. I liked it, but it was very pedestrian.
Oh no!
If I could say that right, I liked the ending. I liked the last 25 minutes or so. I thought it was really solid. Everything else, it just.
Did one of the aliens turn out to be George Burns?
No.
Okay.
No, but I actually thought if Spielberg had, I would have loved to have seen. If you don't want to know any spoilers, turn away now. Do you mind if I do a spoiler?
Deleted, do you mind?
No, I've pretty much heard the plot. Yeah.
Okay, there's a spoiler commit for Disclosure Day. Tune out for about 2 minutes. All right, there you go. All right.
At
You want to hear
the,
it?
okay, at the very end of the film, they reveal the alien that had been
Yes.
in captivity, and you know the evil government agency in this
Boo.
had him, and he had been busted out and taken. And he's in a wheelchair, poor little thing. I thought it would have been so cool that if they had designed that alien to look like the Close Encounters alien.
They didn't?
They didn't. They just made him a very. I mean, it was a very cool design. It was a gray alien, you know, big head, big, you know, almond black eyes. It was a great design, but it wasn't the Close Encounters alien, the one that did the little hand gestures. I thought if they brought him out, that would have been cool.
Okay.
Because that's what I was waiting for going in. I haven't seen the movie. Full disclosure. Full disclosure on Disclosure Day.
On Disclosure Day, yeah.
There you go. I would have been waiting for the mothership to land and Richard Dreyfuss to walk out and say, "What did I miss?"
That would have been cool, yeah.
You know,
But,
if you want to make not just a spiritual sequel, but to make it a true sequel to Close Encounters, like they did in Split, having Bruce Willis show up at the end, and you realize, oh, it's unbreakable, you know. Yeah, I mean,
it's not a bad movie. It's not at all. It has some very good aspects to it, but it is much more of something you would watch on streaming. I don't think it's worth the amount of money to go to a theater and everything and watch it. It's not that big.
Oh, Geek Fleck, tell us how you really feel. Yikes.
The thing with me is I don't expect every movie to be good. You know, look, Spielberg is not infallible.
No.
But you know, and he's made movies that I think are far better than others. But
I feel we've been starved for a proper, like, Spielberg sci-fi adventure type movie though,
Yes.
for a long time.
we have. I mean,
yeah.
it's like he's getting hung up on these things that aren't important. He's acting like he hasn't evolved as a director, and we know he has. He went from Raiders to Schindler's List. What happened to that guy? That's the Spielberg that I want back. Not Crystal Skull, not this, not even The Fablemans. Maybe it's just me longing for this other time where, you know, every movie was a banger, and even the movies that kind of sucked were still not bad. You know,
He would do because Spielberg had that, like, he would do the banger movie, and then he would do the high art movie.
and that's fine. But,
that was
you know,
paid for by the big banger movie.
And that's the whole idea, is that you go in, you know, you do, you know, the big budget blockbuster movie, so you have the money to do the little personal movie that you really want to do. Everybody does that.
Yeah,
Mel Gibson straight up admitted he did certain movies so that he could get, like, Braveheart and especially Passion of the Christ made. You know.
I mean, we all have the Spielberg in our minds. I mean, you know, when you say Spielberg, you think Jurassic Park, you know, all the Indiana Jones movies, E.T., Close Encounters, Jaws, and you look at what he's done lately. Bridge of Spies, the BFG, The Post, Ready Player One, West Side Story, The Fablemans, and now Disclosure Day. It's mediocrity the last
I liked Bridge of
couple decades.
Spies. I liked Bridge of Spies.
Well, I'm not saying
I
it's not.
did
I'm not saying
too,
it's
but
not
I've
a.
only seen it once.
Yeah, okay. Well,
There's no rewatchability factor to it.
Yeah,
there you go.
I mean, and that's a big aspect to it. I mean, Raiders comes on, and you're like, oh, click, it's on. Bridge
It
of
doesn't have to
Spies.
It doesn't have to be Raiders, but I'd like to see him do another adventure movie, even if it's not Indiana Jones. I think that's what it is. Just can you make an adventure movie, which I thought this might end up being, but I guess not as much.
It's got some action, but it's not.
Like I remember Minority Report, that was pretty good for the time. I thought. I mean, that was.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm just trying to figure out. He's supposed to be making a Bullet movie. Is that right? With Bradley Cooper in the lead, which I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
That was supposed to happen. He
They're
was
still
supposed to be doing. I don't think it was a sequel. It was a movie featuring the same character. So it was gonna or maybe it was a sequel. It's not a remake, but maybe like a movie featuring the same character, I guess. But I don't know if he was going to set it in the 1960s or what was that. I can't believe I noticed, but where's Troy? We had a really bad falling out. We shan't work together again. I'm kidding. He's on the road. No,
we can't see missing Troy any more than we've missed, Ronnie Pudding or Ronnie Schindler or any of these people we played with short periods of time.
You know what I was quoting? Yeah, Spinal Tap. No, he's just on. Him and Ned are on the road. He said he's going to try to do the Doctor Who stream tonight. So, but he wasn't sure if they'd make it or not. They're going to see how they feel about it. All right, when they get in.
Yeah.
But you can catch me on with him again on Tuesday for Sparkwood and 21, and we'll be on again Friday. Not sure what we might be talking about his convention, unless he's going to do that on Netter's channel for her Thursday things. But yeah. But alternate universe, Spielberg directs Return of the Jedi. Now that would have been awesome. That would have been really nice. Yes. Funniest thing hearing about this movie is being called is that it's boomer propaganda. I saw that video too. It's just, well, the part of the problem with this movie too is I don't want to do too many spoilers, but isn't the big crux of it that they have to get it to the news station to air it on TV, and people are like, it's just throw it on the internet. It's 2026. It's like, do they have an internet blocker? Is that it in the movie?
Thinking about it now, I don't even remember them considering that.
Because that would make sense for them to throw it online.
Well, they needed the
local hometown
the girl was the weather girl. She was one of the ones that had been quote unquote chosen when she was younger, and of course there's the other guy, there was a lot of information that he wanted to get out, but the agency that was in control, literally, they had like almost unlimited abilities to stop them.
Evil.
Yeah, they were.
Evil.
They had alien tech that they had reverse engineered, and certain devices that Colin Firth's character used as kind of a remote viewing, and he could control people. It was like I said, it's a good movie. It just, when you think of Spielberg, you just want more. But I might have to give it another watch now that I think about it. But there's a lot of cool stuff. But I remember it had a great trailer. The trailer made me want to, sold me on it. And I thought there was going to be more with like the animals. There was going to be the whole thing. But that was such a very...
I saw the nuns on the trailer. I thought the nuns were going to rip off the habits and the fake faces, and they were going to be aliens underneath or something.
But it was a very small part of that. And a lot of people say, and they explained the whole faith thing. The nurse spoke because they says, well, how can God created the world? What does it say if there is something out there? And she mentioned something about something that was in Genesis. Made perfect sense. I don't remember exactly how she put it, but I remember thinking, okay, you know, fine enough.
I guess so. All right. Moving on to the final story of the night, Evil Dead Wrath. I'm hearing crickets. No oohs and ahs?
Okay. Ooh, ah.
The trailer's interesting.
No. You're thinking of a different movie, I think.
This is
Evil
this
Dead
is the
Burn. You're
prequel.
thinking of Evil
Okay.
Dead Burn.
Yeah, you're saying that's
Okay.
the one I know of.
I still need to watch the last one. Evil Dead Rise, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, I need to watch that one still. Because part of me is what's driving me crazy is, are these related to the remake that was done like in the 2000s or 2010s, and these are following that, or is this just a whole new thing? Because I don't think it's related to the Bruce Campbell ones, right?
Well,
Unless it is.
and somebody can check me on this, but I thought that the 2013 film was just more of a straight up remake, because the Evil Dead Rise doesn't reference it at all.
Okay, all right, maybe it is.
And if for those of you who've seen Evil Dead Burn or Rise, I'm getting them mixed up now.
Yeah.
The
Okay,
previous film-
I've got a list here. It's Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, then Evil Dead 2013,
Uh-huh.
and then Rise, Burn, and then
Okay.
Wrath.
But the way that Rise is structured is it starts off once again with a bunch of college, early 20s kids, next to, at this house by a river, and they're out in the country, and it's all started. Then you cut away to the city, and the way that film ended, spoiler alert, is that the girl who's infected at the beginning of the movie at the cabin, that starts off everything there, she gets infected at the end of Evil Dead Rise. And then she goes off on her trip as she's slowly becoming a Deadite.
So maybe this is related.
So,
Okay, they do say here, if you can believe the old Wikipedia, that unlike this for the Evil Dead 2013, unlike the first three films, this one doesn't include Ash, except at the very end. It is considered a continuation of the franchise, and they had planned to feature both Ash and Mia in future installments.
Interesting.
Had been discussed, but hadn't followed through.
Well, probably because they ended up doing the Ash versus the Evil Dead series instead. Okay, let's get into this. Okay, Evil Dead Wrath is set in 1972 and predates Sam Raimi's original classic. From director Sebastian Vanicek, the Evil Dead Burn releases in theaters July 10th, but that's just one of two brand new Evil Dead films releasing in the next 2 years. Evil Dead Wrath recently wrapped production with the upcoming film from director Francis Galuppi, Last Stop in Yuma County, set for theatrical release on April 7th, 2028. We've known virtually nothing about the movie up to this point, but recent interview with producer Rob Tapert has surfaced this week thanks to Dread Central, and reveals a very surprising bit of information about Evil Dead Wrath. The film is set in 1972. Tapert told the students at Michigan State University during a chat, Evil Dead Wrath is yet another great departure. It predates everything. It takes place in 1972. That means Evil Dead Wrath takes place even before the arrival of Ash Williams and friends in the infamous cabin in the woods, which would give the film a whole new kind of flavor. Sam Raimi's Army of Darkness was, of course, set in the Middle Ages, but Evil Dead Wrath takes place chronologically before Ash Williams was transported into medieval times. It will feel like a 1972 movie because the director and his DP want to imitate the film's look and feel of something that's called Ektachrome 100, which was a film stock, Tapert notes. Still available. A lot of movies shot back then, and so it's very warm, very tungsten. Taper calls Wrath a very Tarantino-esque, very deliberate, Galupe-made movie, not a horror movie. It's like a great deal called Last Stop in Yuma County. It's worth looking up. Excuse me. Last Stop in Yuma County, it's interesting to note, is also set in 1970s. Okay, I'll have to look for that movie. Is that even out yet? All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm intrigued by this. Now, again, does this take place in the proper Evil Dead universe? Is it its own thing? As Nate was saying, is this just an anthology? Going to be an anthology series? You forget there was an episode of Creep Show that was basically Bob Ross versus the Evil Dead. They even had Ted Raimi coming on the Antiques Roadshow type show on PBS, and he's oh no, I want to sell this ancient book, and he starts reading from it on air, and then the zombies and then the Deadites infest a PBS studio, and it's up to this Bob Ross villain type character, you know what I'm talking about, who of course had demons from being in Vietnam, you know. So he knows how to fight, but he's trying to put that behind him and just paint the happy trees. You understand?
Yeah.
That was a Creep Show episode. It was kind of funny. It was a little. I'm sure Sam Raimi gave his blessing for that, and it was a. So it's basically Bob Ross versus the Evil Dead, which. So the Evil Dead 2013 is a kind of sequel with a bunch of new young people going to the same cabin. Well, they weren't the same characters. Yeah, they were all original characters. They like the girl wasn't named Ashley. And they were actually going up there because she was. They were trying to detox her before bringing her over to rehab because she was an addict. Right. And when she starts acting funny, they're thinking it's her going through the drug withdrawal, right? Mm-hmm. And not realizing she's possessed. You understand? But only the reason the modern director does Zurishek original events because they think they're a better creator. Well, here's the deal, though. Rob Tapert is a producer. Sam Raimi's still producer on these, so they're giving it their blessing. So I don't know. It may be good, may not be good. We'll see. I need to watch Rise already, though. Maybe I'll watch that after the stream tonight. We'll see. Or maybe tomorrow I'll do it. But, yeah. Evil Dead Wrath coming to theaters next year. So I'm kind of curious how it's going to look as a 1970s movie. Like we... You know,
I do like it when they make a film in that same spirit, but also give it that look.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be interesting to see using the film stock.
Wonder who the cast will be.
I think it actually. Oh, I thought it said something.
Evil Dead Wrath. I don't know. Did they mention it?
Evil Dead.
They mentioned Last Stop in Yuma.
Charlotte Hope.
Oh, no, here we go. They're the cast. Okay, yeah, look at this. Charlotte Hope from The Nun, Jessica McNamee, Mortal Kombat, Zach Guilford, Midnight Mass, Josh Hellman, Mad Max Fury Road, Ella Newton, Dangerous Animals, Elizabeth Cullen, Diabolique, and Elia Oliphant will star in Evil Dead Wrath. Okay. Evil Dead creator Sam Raimi and franchise Rob Tapert are producing. Bruce Campbell and Lee Cronin will executive produce alongside Rommel Adam and Jose Canes. Okay. All right. So.
Release date April 7th, 2028.
Right, but I didn't feel like watching it. It was, but I didn't feel like watching it. I was watching an Evil Dead movie. I don't know.
Same, Nate. It didn't feel like an Evil Dead movie to me either.
Okay. Well, it doesn't have the comedy, which, to be fair, wasn't intended to be in the original. People just thought there were scenes in it that were funny, so they just leaned into that for the sequels, originally.
No.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was a decent film, but yeah,
all right.
It kind of feels its own thing. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's it for the night. We're ending a little early tonight, but that's okay. All the geek news that we can find, we'll talk about. But it was a slow week. But I don't know. Things are not looking good for Xbox. Evil Dead Wrath could be intriguing because of the '70s aspect. If they make it like an early '70s movie, that might be kind of interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. Just go full out with it.
Make it like The Living Dead at Manchester Morgue. That'll make me happy. Have you seen The Living Dead at Manchester Morgue, Big Al?
No, I have not.
It's also known as Let Sleeping Corpses Lie. That's another title for it.
Mhm.
Also known as Don't Open the Window. That was the American title.
Nope.
Okay. Okay, it takes place in England, and over in England they've come up with this device that will have all the insects attack each other. Good for crops, right? But then it turns out it's waking the dead. It was a good little horror movie. It's as close as you're going to get to like if Hammer had made a Living Dead type zombie movie, it would have been like that. Okay, yeah. But I love you guys like a fat kid that loves cake. Okay, well we all love cake, don't we? Anyway. But,
Wait, you have cake?
We don't have cake. I'm
Give
sorry.
me that cake.
I'm sorry.
Damn.
I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to sometime this week. I'm hoping my McDonald's starts carrying the apple pie.
The
That
new
they're
oh
bringing
yeah, I
back.
forgot. That was too late for this stream, but maybe next time. Yeah, they brought the old apple pie back, haven't they?
Yeah.
Oh.
I talked to the Birdman soundtracks with Birdman.
Uh-huh.
He's already his McDonald's has them already, and
Really?
he says they are good.
Okay, well I will have to take his word for it. Again, someday Birdman and I will reunite on a stream, but I know he's busy. Yes. The cake is a lie. Well, of course it is. I don't know, man. I've been seeing some advertising for some restaurant where it looks like a beef sandwich, and then they dunk it in gravy, and then they give you a piece of cake with it. And I'm like, where is this place? I want to know where it is. I keep seeing advertising on my YouTube feed. All right, but
That
that's
sounds good.
that's it for this week, though. But Big Al, do you want to tell us what you got going on in the future?
Oh yeah, well, in the future, well, right now I just dropped a review tonight for voicemails for Isabel, and I'm hoping in the next few days to get around to watching The Death of Robin Hood and Toy Story 5. I also have reviews for Deepwater, Disclosure Day, Pressure, Scary Movie, and Masters of the Universe, all the big stuff that's out right now.
Cool.
The next Films with Friends is this Friday, and Deleted Scenes and I are going to be watching a classic, an absolute classic in the superhero genre from 1974, the Wonder Woman movie starring Kathy Lee Crosby.
Oh wow.
So we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have a lot of fun making that. Also stars Ricardo Montalban. So.
Oh
always,
really?
Yes,
The
yes.
villain?
Andrew
Is he the
Prime.
villain?
He is the villain in it. Yes, he is. And yeah, this is not the Linda Carter Wonder Woman that you may be thinking of. But the
This is her in
stream's
the
up
white
if you want to take a
leotard,
look.
the white business casual suit.
No, this one she might have it on at one point. No, in this one she's got like the little red jumper with the blue leggings and
Oh okay. Okay.
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
All right.
You probably recognize it, but yeah, 1974 they made this, and
Cool.
I just thought it'd be kind of fun to subject everybody to it.
Well,
on a
we
Friday
did.
night.
I was on when you did that. The Doctor Strange 1970s movie.
Yeah. It's kind of fun to visit some of those older films. I mean, even if they're terrible, you can make fun of them.
Well, it's all we had, man.
Yeah, it was. I remember when that thing was on television. I remember watching it. I don't remember much about it, but I do remember watching it.
Well, I used to watch Different Strokes regularly, waiting for it to get funny. But anyway, it's what you did
Yeah.
back then. I'm sorry, I'm being mean to Different Strokes.
Yeah, but also with July, coming in July, the Films with Friends got Adventures of Baron Munchausen on the 4th, and then 2 weeks after that, got Time Bandits.
Oh yeah,
So
it's a classic.
Those are the
Bandits.
July.
I remember I went to go
watches.
see. I got my dad to take me to see Baron Munchausen in the theater because I was
Yep.
a huge Time Bandits fan. So I wanted to see the next movie by Terry Gilliam. So yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
Terry Gilliam. Yeah, it's kind of a Terry Gilliam month on
Yeah.
on Films with Friends.
I like Uma Thurman in that movie.
Oh yes, yes.
How about yourself, Deleted? What you got going on?
Well, in about 20 minutes, reserved seats, and I will be joined by Joe's Atmosphere, who is with us in the chat. So hello, and that will be the lead-in for Doctor Who later on tonight over on Troy's channel. And then let's see. If you're a member of Troy's channel, I'll be on the panel tomorrow night for Last Call Members Night at the Movies. All I know is it's a movie from 1986. I have not been told what the movie is, so I'm going in blind.
Okay.
And Tuesday, of course, you'll be joining me, Boomer, along with Troy and Netter for live from Sparkwood and 21. Watching the next episode of Twin Peaks. And let's see. Thursday, I am going to be joining Outlaw Bill at 5:30 Eastern, 4:30 Central for Action Theater. And we're going to be watching the original Conan the Barbarian from 1982.
Cool.
Then, of course, later that night, will be my program, Coming Attractions. You get to find out what I'm going to be doing in the next week, including Films with Friends, as Al has already mentioned. And I'm hoping to get a review up for Iron Lung sometime this week. And I'm going to take the plunge. I'm going to watch Citizen Vigilante, and I'm going to have some thoughts on that. So.
Oh yeah, that's been getting a lot of buzz. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, cool. All right, well, y'all have a great week. Thank you, Lady Mist. Thank you. I think it was a super show, and we got a bunch of people coming in here at the last. Okay, we got Joe's Atmosphere. Look out, the geezers are in. Yeah, sorry, we got to be heading out though, dude. But you can always rewind if you want to catch what we were talking about. And like I said, Steven will have a stream up very soon on his reserved seats. So go check that out. All right. All right. Well, thank you again, gentlemen, for joining me, subbing for Troy Netter this week. I really appreciate it.
A pleasure, a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Okay.
Anytime.
All right. And look, everyone have a good week, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.